Since I've been quite sick for the last week and a half, I thought I'd show you my post-flu facial and just anything that I do normally to just fix my skin, especially because it gets quite dry around this side of the nose and then on my chin, especially if I've had to take a lot of ibuprofen. It just seems to be one of those reactions that my skin will get very, very dry. So the first thing I'll do is I'll start off with a face brush, and this is actually an Old Baby's brush that I've just cut down so that it's at that thickness where it's not too harsh for me but not so soft that it doesn't do anything. I'm going to brush away all the dead skin, but on the area where the skin is a little sensitive, I'll be a bit more careful. Once I've brushed the skin, I'm going to be taking some aloe vera, and I always have some of this growing in my room, and I'm going to cut off one of the stalks. You want to pick something which is nice and juicy. Don't pick a leaf which is all withered and dry. You want something which is very young and full of a lot of the gel, and you can just squeeze the gel out of the end, which is what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to apply it on the areas of my skin which are really dry and sensitive, and I'm going to leave it there and wait for it to dry while I make the face mask. But before I work on the face mask, I'm going to work on the lip scrub, and this is quite possibly the easiest lip scrub you will ever make. You just get some brown sugar, a little spoonful of that, put it into a dish, then pour in a tiny bit of honey, mix that together until you get a bit of a gritty, syrupy texture. And then once you do that, just rub it on your lips and scrub away all that dead skin. It's really, really easy, and better yet, it tastes quite nice. The face mask is also very, very simple. I'm going to be using one of my favourite ingredients, which is oats, and I like this because it's very, very soothing, and right now my skin is dry, it's irritated, it doesn't want anything rough, so I won't be using a clay mask, and I'm going to grind this up into a fine powder. I'm going to pour that into the dish that I'm going to be using to mix everything up, and then with that same aloe vera plant that I used earlier, I'm going to cut that wide open and then scrape out all that gel out into the oats, and I'm going to be using the back of the knife for this. But do bear in mind that it is quite messy. Your fingers are going to get completely covered in aloe vera gel. Once I've scraped out as much of the aloe vera gel as I can, I'm going to add some honey to that mixture, then some water, and you want to mix it together until it's got the kind of texture of porridge, and it's probably going to look quite a lot like porridge as well. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the face, and yes, I know it really does look like porridge, but it's very good for my skin and it calms it down, and especially the areas which are really irritated and sore from all the ibuprofen I've had to take, it just calms it right down. I'm going to leave it on for about 15 minutes, then I'm going to wash it off, pat my face dry, before applying some lip balm, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply the last few treatments, starting off with my moisturiser. On my cheek and chin, where the skin's really irritated and dry at the moment, I'm going to be applying some extra coats of moisturiser. My eyes are also really irritated at the moment. They're dry and tired, so I'm going to be using an eye mist specifically for that, spraying that on both eyes, and then normally what I like to do is to just gently massage around the eyes and just to rub that in. It won't really make the actual spray any more effective, but I find the actual massage helps quite a lot. And then around my nose, which is really dry and irritated too, I'm going to be using some pseudo creme, rubbing that in, finishing off with a tea, and just going back to bed.